Running a brokerage is hard work, so whether you're focused on building your own sales pipeline, hiring the best agents, leveling up your team's production, or protecting the culture you've built, you're in the right place. Real estate brings the challenges, and we share the solution. Welcome to the show dedicated to broker entrepreneurs. Welcome to the Brokerpreneur Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Brokerpreneur Podcast. I'm Dr. Ben Spears, the Doctor of Flow. I'm here with the big guy, as usual, Matt Vi. What's up, Matt?
Man, I'm loving the uniforms.
Yeah, you know it, man.
That's
It is,
right.
man. We got the memo today, guys.
That's right.
If you're not on YouTube, we got the memo.
Yep.
So, Matt,
Yeah, Ben.
before we get into
Doctor-
recruiting,
Doctor
everybody
of
wants
Flow.
to know, what are you doing this weekend?
Just working, man. You know me.
Well, I'm going to be working and sweating for 4 hours.
I got you. Walking around the course. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So, tell us what we're talking about, and I'll let everybody know how to follow us.
Yeah. So should you dig into a niche when it comes to recruiting, or should you just try to recruit everybody?
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
man, I like the sound of that. Guys, wherever you're listening to this, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button. Make sure, this today is Friday when we're recording this, but make sure that, today.
It ain't always Friday, though.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Or next Friday, any Friday in the future, make sure you register for Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society. It's in the description below.
Yep.
It's absolutely free to attend. We have a great time. It's with brokers from across the country. Matt and I are there live for an hour from 12 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, answering questions, really fostering conversations.
That's exactly
is a
right.
really good way of looking at
Yep.
it. And it's just brokers from across country collaborating and sharing winning strategies. We'd love
Yep.
to see you there.
Yep.
So Matt,
Yeah, Ben.
niche recruiting. I love the sound of that, right? Because the riches are in the niches,
Right.
right? What's the benefit of even doing it?
Yeah, so maybe for some people, maybe nothing, right? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe the way that their model is set up, it's not about just hiring, certain select people, and it's just about hiring as many people as you can hire, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
But for the people that it is, I wanted to make sure that we approached it because there is a difference,
Yeah,
right? So if you need to focus on a niche, then get in there and focus on the niche, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't, man, just go out there and throw the net.
yeah,
Right, you see those
Yeah.
videos all the time. Those big, huge cast nets. This little guy that's about this tall throws a cast net about that big, catches a billion fish. Man, go throw your net out there.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be a little niche.
That's right. That's right. That's what I thought you were going to say when it's the niches are in the riches.
Yeah, niches get stitches.
That's right. That's right. The niches end up in ditches.
That's right. Yeah. So, I love the analogy of that big cast net.
Yeah.
Right. That's such a great analogy.
Right. Now, and other people go for a charter. Sorry, go ahead.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Going with your point. This is gonna be good.
Yeah, and other people go on a charter, right? And they're like, I want to get a redfish today, right?
Yeah.
And so they go out there and they're using a certain bait and they're going to a certain place and all that kind of stuff. Both people are right,
Yeah.
but which is it that you want? Because what you can't do is go, you know what, I'm going to catch a whole bunch of redfish. Let me take my net out and try to throw my net out and put it on top of some redfish. Is there a chance that you can do that? Yes. Are you going to be chasing those fish around all day? Yes. Are you going to end up with a lot of other stuff that you don't need? Yes.
Yeah.
Where redfish are, you're going to mess your net up.
It's hard to net a red. That's exactly. It's harder to net a red. So what creates the difference?
Yeah. So I think probably the biggest difference is, what matches, what is your model, how you're doing real estate, what does it match? Okay. Mm-hmm. So here's a great example. If you are a broker that's selling, right? Because some of our clients, they're brokers that are still selling. Other clients, they're not selling, they're non-competing, they're just running the brokerage, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So if you don't have a whole lot of time, if you don't have a whole lot of staff, if you don't have a whole lot of training, if you can't spend time in a whole lot of training, or you don't like to,
Yeah.
right, you're not going to go out and just try to hire whoever you can hire and hope that, because somebody's going to come in and they're going to go, yeah, you said you were supportive in the recruiting interview.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't have no idea what I'm doing. What's a listing agreement? So you need to be more targeted in what you're trying to accomplish, right? And so the excuse me, the benefit of it is you get the people that match what it is that you offer, and if they match, they stay longer. They get productive quicker, right? We all know that, right? It seems like it's pretty common sense, but man, some days we get up and we're like, man, we got to grow the office today.
Yeah.
I better get out there and go hire some people. And who did I talk to last? And I reached out to this person. What about that person? Maybe this person. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're just chasing you're throwing nets all over the place, right? And so you have to have a plan so that when you do have that time, man, you can target in on certain people. Right.
Yeah.
So lead magnets are a big part of what, we talk to people about, because we want you to lead. We want you to lead with value. Right.
Yeah.
Give them something that, regardless of whether they ever sit down and talk to you, still help them out with their business. Right. So what type of lead magnets are you using?
Yeah. That was my next question.
Yeah. That wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, because you were talking about niches.
Yeah.
Right. You can't just be throwing it out there for everybody.
Yeah. So how you, if your company, if your model of who you are runs a certain way, a big benefit of recruiting to a niche is that the things you have available to you is what you should be using to recruit.
Yeah.
Okay. So if as an example, let's say you're a competing broker. Okay. You're out there selling. Man, and you just kill it at listings, right?
Yeah.
80% of your business is listings. You're as busy as you can be with that. You get buyer leads and you hand them out to your agents. That's part of the conversation of what you need to be talking about.
Of course.
Because there are agents in your market, in every market, that are like, man, I'd like to be a better listing agent. So that's part of what you have to learn to do. Is the benefit of recruiting this way is that it's who you are. And so it makes it easier for you to display that. Because it's who you are.
Yeah, it's comfortable because it's authentic.
Right. And you're going to be able to have that conversation easier. And that's where you start attracting people, right?
Yeah.
When they know you're a great listing agent and that you're helping them and you've got buyer leads, that whatever, and somehow that's appropriately getting into the market. No, no, your podcast isn't stuck, okay? You're appropriately getting that into the market. Then that's whose attention is going to be piqued by that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So how do you communicate it?
Right.
That's the next question, right? So we know the benefits, we know what creates the difference. But this is where most brokers, I won't say most brokers, a lot of them will struggle with what creates the difference.
Right.
Right. We see.
Yeah. Let's talk about that first.
Yeah. We see brokers really saying, I'm setting myself apart by saying the same thing
that everybody else is saying.
Every other broker is saying in the market. And so let's dive into that a little bit deeper.
Yeah. So think about what you're good at, right? And what you're good at and what you like to do. That is going to be a big part of what your differentiator is. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know we kind of touched on that, but what creates that difference?
Yeah.
What creates that difference is you being able to effectively and efficiently communicate that with people, and then showing them how to succeed with it. That's what creates the difference. Here's the mistake that I think a lot of people make in their recruiting. I could be wrong, but let's just say that I'm right on this. Okay.
Yeah. First time.
They offer a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
And their agents don't put any of it in play.
Yeah.
Their agent comes on board and uses 10% of what it is that they offer, and that's only because it's the part that they're forcing them to. That you don't get paid unless you do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Okay. So there's all this other stuff that is you. That's who you are. That's what you are as a company.
Yeah.
But the agents just aren't using it. They're not putting it into practice. They're not putting it into what they do day to day, right? So what creates that ability for you to be able to recruit with a niche is not only having something, but helping the agent put that into play. Because think about it. If I let's go back to the example of I'm a great listing agent. So if I go into the market and I hire somebody and my promise is that I'm going to make you a better listing agent, and you come on board and I help make you a better listing agent.
Right.
Other people that were quietly watching that, they're going to go, wait a minute. Billy Bob was with us. He sucked at listing. He went over now and he works for Dr. Ben's house realty or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's killing it with listings.
His name's still Billy Bob.
Right. And his name's still Billy Bob. And he's got all those listings. Wait a minute. So I'm getting things that are saying that Dr. Ben's going to make me better at listings, and I see that Billy Bob is better at listings. The next time I bump into Dr. Ben, maybe I should slow down a little bit and listen to him and talk to him.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. So what we do is we put it out there in a way that gets the attention. But as soon as we can have the testimonial of delivery of that, that's really what creates the differentiation. Because everybody's promising, You're going to make more money with me. I'm going to help you with the business plan.
Got the best tools.
I've got the best tools, got the best systems. You can market easier with me. 3 clicks and you make more leads and all that. Everybody's saying the same thing. I love it. If you can do that, rock on.
Yeah.
But if you're not helping people that you hire actually put that into place, you're not going to attract the people that were watching, that were thinking about joining you and really want to make that difference, but are not sure whether you're going to be able to deliver it because you sound like everybody else.
Hey, Dr. Ben here. I hope you're enjoying this episode. If sometimes you feel overloaded or alone when it comes to building your brokerage, I want you to know that we are here for you. There's so much support available to agents, but hardly any dedicated to brokers. I want to personally invite you to schedule a complimentary strategy call where Matt will help you build a 3-step profitability plan that will immediately produce results. This is not a sales pitch. There's no obligation. Simply click the link in the description below. Now let's get back to the show.
So you have to create the differentiation. Here's a couple of big ways to do it, because I don't want to be abstract about this.
Yeah.
So one is your training, right? What you offer. Do you have training on what you offer? And is it consistent and is it good? Okay. If your training is, oh yeah, when they come in, I sit down with them. Let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
That is not scalable. Okay. You might be the best in the world at it. Mm-hmm. Rock on. I love it. But you need to find at least pieces of that are scalable.
Yeah.
That are self-paced, for lack of a better way of putting it. You know, we're big fans of video, right? All that kind of stuff. So, okay. So that's one. 2, everybody's investing in tech. Everybody has a tech stack. Okay. I think everybody has a tech stack. Can you imagine? If a broker doesn't have a tech stack, we can pick on them on this podcast because I guarantee you they're not listening to this podcast.
They're not listening to this podcast. If you
So we can pick on them.
use paper files.
Right? And paper everything.
Yeah, paper
you advertise in the newspaper. You write all of that. Okay, so everybody's got a tech stack. Okay. Yeah. How well do you define your tech stack, and how well does your tech stack match who you are as a company? Okay, because we've had brokers before that joined, and we went through some assessment and all that kind of stuff, blah blah blah, and they had a lot of tech and they were not leveraging that tech, and when I say not leveraging it, I mean their agents were not using it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and I'll be just really super direct about this, right? I asked them how well they knew the tech.
Yeah,
and they didn't.
Of course.
Right? They bought it, handed it to the agent, didn't know it and didn't believe in it and didn't use it.
Yeah.
Why the hell would you spend that money? You're certainly not going to recruit with that.
Right.
Because the person's going to ask one question and they're going to say, well, tell me a little bit of, do you use it for this? Oh, I don't know. Well, you're going to have to look at the videos online to right?
Yeah. You can create support tickets really fast.
Yeah. And you know how people are with support tickets. They love answering support tickets.
Yeah, you know it.
So absolutely, your tech stack. It's not just what you've got. It's not just that you're talking about AI. It's not just that you have a CRM. It's not just that like a automated value model, right? Absolutely incredible tool. Are you making sure that everybody in your office is using it? If everybody's using it and they're getting benefit from it, then when you start to talk to recruits about it, you can say, oh yeah, well, let me give you an example. One of the things we do is this, and Betty Sue used it this way, and that's how, she just closed 2 properties with it. And, we have training, that's some self-paced stuff, and then we have some classes that we do that are going to benefit you. Because with us, the key is, I don't want to ask you to use technology that doesn't get you a return on investment better than you not having it. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't offer it.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta be able to have that conversation with the agents that you're talking to.
Yeah. So just like you said, you have to be able to have that conversation. So how do you communicate it?
Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, it's got to be clear. You have to understand it.
Yeah.
And it has to be consistent. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And so an example, right? If you talk about your tech stack, if you talk about whatever it is that you offer that kind of sets you apart and how your model is different and everything, how do you make sure once someone is in that recruiting loop, how do you make sure that you consistently let them know the benefit of that without beating them over the head with it, right?
Yeah.
It feels like they're getting beat over the head if there's just consistency with no clarity.
Yeah.
If there is clarity and you're being consistent about it, they're like, man, I really do see how this could make a difference.
Yeah.
But if you're just saying, I got a CRM, I've got a CRM, we've got a CRM, our CRM's the best CRM that's ever, CRM, and they're getting all this stuff, and you're following up and you're talking about it, and they're like, shit, who doesn't have a CRM, right? But if you say, when a lead comes in our CRM, the first thing that it does is it's set up to automatically text the person and let them start their search. But at the same time, it calls you on your phone. So if you have the option, you can press 1. It'll connect you with that person so you can talk to that lead immediately. That's all set up automatically through our CRM.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Now, when I talk about the CRM with the person, there's a whole different level of communication there. Yeah. Right. So it has to be not just consistent, but it has to be clear. Clear and consistent is the first step.
Yeah, for sure. And that, in the same way that, you're saying, hey, we got a CRM with that consistency. Mm-hmm. The same thing, you can consistently deliver a different message. And that to me is just as bad, maybe even worse.
Right. Confuse them.
Yeah,
we got a
CRM. We don't got a CRM.
We kind of have a CRM.
Yeah.
There's a CRM, but we don't teach how to use it.
Yeah.
Oh, so absolutely great point. So what that does, the issue with that is it confuses them, and if it confuses them, you know what they're not going to do?
Join.
Make a decision. They're not going to join.
Yeah. It's very overwhelming. It's like, I have this, and it's like, okay, maybe the recruit, didn't bite on it or didn't, start asking more questions. Oh, well, they probably don't like CRMs. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, we give leads. Oh, okay, cool. Well, we do, I'll give you a desk. Mm-hmm. Right? That kind of thing. I run it out of my house, but we'll put you in the kitchen.
Right.
Right? Like, you name it. It's just, it's very, very, very overwhelming.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. So here's probably the last thing that I would keep in mind about this whenever it comes to communicating it. If you talk about being very supportive, and you put them on an email drip campaign that talks about how supportive you are, and you never reach out to them again, I don't care how good the email drip campaign is, that's not going to feel supportive.
Oh, of course.
Right? So whatever it is that you're offering has to match how it is that you deliver it to them. How do you demonstrate? How do you show what it is that you say are your core competencies? What is it that sets you apart, and how do you demonstrate that? A lot of brokers struggle with this. A lot of brokers make this mistake. Okay, and part of the reason why they make this is not just in recruiting, but they do this as an agent, and they never got out of the habit of it. Right? Yeah. They're like, oh, I want to get this message across, and I don't have time to get this message across, so I'm going to let something else deliver this message for me, and whatever that message is proven not to be true by how they delivered it. Yeah. Okay. So the support is a big one. If I'm recruiting somebody and I tell them that my training is the best training, and whenever I send them to whatever if I send them a clip of some type of training that I'm doing or something like that, and it literally looks like everyone else's training. Yeah. That's not proving that it's the best training. Take the best example you have of that, and that's what you share with them. Okay. Yeah. If your core competency is training, as an example, and you don't have a way of demonstrating that training is your core competency, you are dead in the water. Yeah. You're not recruiting.
Absolutely not.
And you're not going to attract people the way that you are. What you're doing is you're probably smiling dialing. You're probably just reaching out to people. You're probably just sending them things, and then wondering why your conversion is not as good as it should be, or wondering why people that you sit down with and you talk to and you're like, we had a great conversation, and then all of a sudden they ghost you for the next 38 years. Yeah. The reason why is because that is not in place the way it needs to. What it is that you say that you're doing is not matching how you're delivering the message of what that does.
Yeah, and you guys won't hear it for a bit, but we recently interviewed Bob Berg on the podcast. We interviewed him a long time ago, episode 100. You can go check that one out. But episode 300, he's coming. He's going to be there again, and he talked about obviously the Go Giver. He's the author of the Go Giver, and he talked and just for pre-framing for you guys who maybe haven't read it, right? There are 5 levels or 5 laws of stratospheric success. That's not what I'm getting into, but he also has 5 we'll say levels of value, and it's these 5 things that have to be included, let's say, on every touch that you do. I don't remember them all, consistency, empathy, that kind of thing. I'm going to get you guys to go into the description and read them because that's where I'm going to put them. But if you just write that down on a little Post-it note or something and put it on your desk and say, you know what, every time I
talk to a recruit,
yep, or I email a recruit, or I text a recruit, whatever, right? However you communicate, make sure that those 5 levels of value are being touched, and there's just no way you can go wrong.
Yeah,
right from that point,
it's so good.
You just can't go wrong. And I'm gonna take those. I have them written down, but I'll know them off the top of my head. Consistency, empathy, that kind of thing. But I'll put them in the description, and guys, go down there and take a look at them.
Yeah, it's so good, and of course, Bob is just an incredible speaker.
Oh, amazing!
And his point, is so well in everything he does. It is so well demonstrated. Yes. He is just so extremely articulate at how to help you understand what those things are that you need to do. Yes. So yeah,
absolutely.
So be on the lookout for that episode. That one's coming soon.
Absolutely. Well, Matt.
Ben.
Anything else before I put a little bow on this thing?
No, man. Bow it up, Ben.
Put like a big bow.
There you go.
It's like, it's Christmas. Here you go, guys. It's Christmas time in August.
Ho, ho, ho.
Wherever you listen to this, whether it be iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer, any of those platforms, make sure you hit that follow button. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that red subscribe button, that bell right beside of it. You get notified every time we drop a new episode. That also helps us
beat the algorithm.
And tells them that we're doing a really good job. And gosh, we just really appreciate it when you do it. Let's just gives us all them feel goods.
Yep.
As I like to say from Kentucky.
And we love that the views are going up on YouTube and stuff like that, and so we appreciate that. That means that the algorithm is starting to pay attention to that, and it's because the listeners going and looking and viewing and engaging with the shorts and all that kind of stuff. So we really appreciate that because we want to get this message out to as many brokers as it'll possibly help. So we appreciate everybody doing that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you didn't. No, you're good. I love it. Yeah, hit that like button and leave us a comment. Right, if there's something, Matt and I are in the comments all the time, and so if there's something that you had a question about this episode, put it in the comments, and I'll make sure that I ask Matt, or I just get Matt to type it, right, and I'll proof it.
Right. Yeah, you're going to have to prove it. Matt's a spoken word, not written word person.
Exactly. But guys, make sure you register for Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society down below. If there's something that we can do to help you, grow your brokerage, of course, you can take 10 minutes. There's a link down there if you can schedule a 10-minute session with Matt, and he'll just show you everything that we have to help you grow your brokerage. And you'll know in 10 minutes whether or not it's right for you.
Yep.
Matt?
Yeah, Ben.
We do all those things that I just mentioned and a lot of other things that we don't. And we do those for one reason alone. Tell them why that is.
Man, we just want to be part of your win.